Hello, everyone. I'm Don Ghost, the worst movie reviewer, and today we're going to be talking about Logan with spoilers. All right, so I saw this movie again last night, and I fell asleep again. First time I saw this movie, I said to myself, okay, maybe it's just me. Maybe I was just too tired, and the movie's actually good, and the story's good, and my attention span is not where it's supposed to be, and so that's why I'm falling asleep. Maybe it's me. I watched it again last night, and I fell asleep during the exact same moments. What does that tell you? I fell asleep, but I can still pretty much follow where this movie was going, and so let me break it down as simple as I can. Now, this movie starts off, it's pretty good. Logan's sleeping in the limousine. Some vatos are trying to steal his hubcaps. Then he attacks them, but then they kick his ass. First they shoot him and then he falls down and it says Logan. And I thought that was a pretty cool, neat way to open the movie. Then they kick his ass, which at this moment you're like, man, it's kind of sad seeing the Wolverine, this guy who you've seen in all these X Men movies, be like so cool. Now he's just like this old bum who gets beat up multiple times. So then he gets beat up, and then he kills him because he's mad now. Now he's still got he's even though he's old and he's grizzled and he's an alcoholic now, he still has that berserker inside of him. So he kills these guys, and he kills them in spectacular fashion. It's good. He just chops them up real nice. It's good because now it's rated R. It's good, emotionally charged stuff. And then you go on a little bit, and then you see Patrick Stewart again. Now Patrick Stewart, like I said, you see him rolling in this wheelchair now. For this is a little nitpicky, but like in Days of Future Past is where we last saw him. He was in a floating chair. Now he's in this stupid wheelchair. That means nothing, but I'm just saying. And so it's like when you see Patrick Stewart in this movie, he's like talking about, I don't remember. He's like, yeah, he's just saying gibberish about just weird stuff, and it's a really good scene. Like that introduction was fantastic, and it's sad. Like I said in my initial review, it's like you watch your dad, who was a great person, and then you see him smoking crack, and it's just like with Patrick Stewart, it's like you've seen him in these other movies, and he's been so like great and full of knowledge, and now it's kind of like in Days of Future Past when he was kind of like doing the drugs, and it's in this he's just like lost his shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's sad to see him go from there to here. But his opening introduction is great, and then he has like these spells where it's like since he kind of still does has he still has the most powerful mind in the world, but he can't control it as well as he used to. And so he has these spasms where he's just like shaking and stuff, and then Logan puts this injection in him to calm him down, has him take his pills. Then there's this scene where Logan, he's at this funeral, and then there's this woman that shows up who's like, "Oh yeah, I need the Wolverine. I need you to do something." He's like, "Stay the fuck away from me." And then you fast forward a little bit, and then Logan, he's like obsessed with like, "Oh, I want to get a boat and live on the river or the ocean or whatever." And then you fast forward, and then this dude, I forgot his name, the dude with the metal hand, he shows up, and then he's just like, "Hey, Logan," or he showed up earlier talking how this woman he was with and stuff. I want to know how you know her and stuff like that. And this is how I tracked you down. And I'm like, okay. And then you fast forward, and then it's like I don't remember the rest of it, but then the dude shows up at Logan's place, and he's just like, I need the girl and all this stuff. And it's like, I think it was at that moment before that, Logan had accepted this Mexican lady's offer of taking Laura to Canada or something. And he took the money. And then when he went to go to meet this Mexican lady at that same night, she's dead. And then it's like, oh, she's dead. And that's when there's a scene before that where she's explaining herself, like, yeah, these are the girls. And to me, that felt like a TV movie, the way it was shot when they're in a hotel and she's talking. But you fast forward a little bit, and she's dead. And then he's like, oh, crap. And then somehow Laura sneaked her way into the limo. And then Logan drives back to his place. And then that's when the military guys show up and he's like, I want the girl. He's like, what girl? And they knock. It's funny, too, because then the dude gets knocked out. by Laura. She throws this thing in his head and he falls unconscious. And then Wolverine talks to this guy, Caliban, I think his name is, and you've seen him in X Men Apocalypse, and Caliban, like Wolverine's a real dick to Caliban. Like seriously, Wolverine doesn't give a shit about Caliban, and they don't even explain what Caliban is doing here. I don't think. Either I've fallen asleep when they explained what he was doing there. Like, why is Caliban here? Why do we need Caliban? I don't know why he's here. I understand why Patrick Stewart and Wolverine are here, but why is Caliban here? I have no idea. But he's being a real dick to Caliban. He's like, all right, yeah, take his body and drive him away and put him here. And you're like, okay. And he takes him there. And then that's when the other military guys show up and they capture Caliban. And it's at this moment they're coming back to where Wolverine and Patrick Stewart are. And then Patrick Stewart is great because Patrick Stewart, he's just like, oh, yeah, I'm glad you're here. I've been communicating with you. It's like grandpa. It's like, oh, yeah. It's really good. Patrick Stewart is great in this movie. And then, Logan is like, oh, yeah, these guys are coming to get out of here. And then they get in the car. And this is why Wolverine's being a dick to Caliban because it's like, technically, he's like, yeah, fuck Caliban, man. Let's get the fuck out of here. Caliban's dead, and I hate that. You just because I was like, man, you're leaving Caliban, dude. You don't give a shit about Caliban. You're just leaving. And then so he's trying to leave, but then he gets blocked. And then he gets out of the car, and then they confront him. And then at this moment, he's like, yeah, what'd you do at Caliban? And I'm like, dude, you don't give a shit about Caliban. You just tried to drive away and abandon him. You fucker. And then, and so he's talking to the guy with the metal hand. They knock out Logan, and then they go in to get Laura, and you see in her trailer, she throws the head, and then she fights and throws down, and it's great. She starts cutting up people. He wakes up, they start cutting up people. They get in the limo, they driving, and then it went on a little too long, in my opinion, and that whole little sequence with the train was kind of dumb, because then you look at it, and it's like, that's the longest train I've ever seen in my life. Just like Fast and Furious 6 with the longest runway you ever seen in your life. It's like the longest train. I think they could have cut that a little shorter, trimmed a little bit of that action scene off, and then like the train thing was kind of dumb in my opinion, but whatever. And then you move on, and then this is kind of where I fell asleep. But then Logan and Patrick Stewart, they go to a hotel, and then he's talking about the comic and all that. It's a lie, and then he does something else I don't remember, and then somehow the military guys find them at the hotel, and then it's a cool scene where it's like, yeah, Patrick Stewart, he's having his spasms again, and it's like in slow motion murder, man, where he's just like cutting up dude and cutting the forehead thing, and then it's in slow motion and it's great, and then it kills dudes and then put the injection in. I'm like, okay. But then they're like, we need to get out of here. So you fast forward a little bit, and then Patrick Stewart and Logan, they're like on the road, and then they run this black family off the road. It's a man, a woman, a daughter, and a son. They run them off the road, and then Patrick Stewart's like, we need to help them because their horses are escaping. And then Wolverine's like, I don't want to help him. And then he tries to drive away, but then he's like, all right, I'll help him. And he gets out and he helps them put their horses back. And then all of a sudden they become friends. They don't even know these people. But then they bring him into their house, and then they have this beautiful tender moment. They have dinner and they talk and all this stuff, and then it's like they go to sleep, and then the black dude's like, something's wrong with this water thing, and then they go over there to leave the house so the military guys can show up. Now here's the saddest moment in the movie, but I think it could have been done better. It's where Patrick Stewart's character dies. It's like, okay, they set it up as a mystery where it's like there's this mysterious figure walking into the room, and you see Laura on the ground. You're thinking, oh yeah, Laura knows something's up, and then he's just standing there. And then Patrick Stewart's like, let her sleep. He like a grandpa in a sheet. Let her sleep for a little bit. He's like, let her sleep, and then he goes. And then like he is sad though. It's like, and then he flips him over, right, and then Logan, pshaw, and then he stabs him in the chest, and it's sad, but it's so like it's not dramatic, man. It's cheap. To me, it was a cheap death. I think they should have taken him out in a better way than that, because it's like, okay, they set this up as like, oh, Logan did it. No, it's not. It's a clone, which I think the clone thing was stupid. I mean, yeah, it's like you're making clones of Wolverine to make super soldiers, whatever, but I think it was dumb. It's like, why does it have to look like Hugh Jackman? To me, it reminded me of Terminator Genisys with the old Arnold and the young Arnold. That's what it looked like to me, and I don't know why they had to have a clone. No one's thinking Now You See Me Too with this crap. I mean, yeah, it's bloody that and then he's mean Wolverine, and I'm young, and I'm a Terminator or some crap, and then it's like this to me, it's like why would if this person, this thing that looks like Logan, walks into why the hell does he walk into the room? He just stands there listening to this old man talk. Why didn't you just walk in and just straight up kill him? Like, let her sleep at all and just stab him in the face or something, And he's just standing there, let him give it. It's to me, the movie did this on purpose so it can grab the audience and make because it's like to me, you have to have Patrick Stewart have his last speech. You don't see his death coming, and then they stab him, and then you're just immediately like, "Oh, that's so sad, man." And what? What are you talking about? It's like, okay, the movie, the movie set this up for you, man. The movie programmed your mind, man, and it made you feel that way. To me, it should have been more dramatic, man. I don't mind him dying. I just wish it was more dynamic. Like the scene in the hotel room, right? Where you got the military men pointing the guns at his forehead, and then he has the spasm, and everyone's still aware of what they're doing. They just can't move. To me, it would have been more dramatic if it's like, okay, Wolverine, he's trying to save Patrick Stewart. He's charging. He's trying to get there. He's stabbing people left and right while these spasms are going on. The guys have the gun at his head. The bullet, you could have a whole scene where the bullet's moving very slowly or whatever. Or don't even have that. Just have the gun and then Wolverine's trying to get there. He's cutting up people. And you're like, get there, man. Save him. And then he's getting there. And then it's like, he's too late. It's like, I don't know how you could have said, but just have something where it's like, it's too late. Where it's like he's trying to save him, but then he's too late. He doesn't make it. Where it's like it's clear as day that yeah, Patrick Stewart's about to die, and it's right in front of his face, and he's like, Patrick Stewart, he's right there. I can save him, but then he doesn't, and he dies. I thought something like that would have been more dramatic. Having this, it's just a setup for the audience to be affected in some way. It's just a typical cliche thing where it's like, oh, you know, we're gonna have. I just didn't like his death, man. They could have done it way better than that. To me, it's like, oh, did Logan do it? Oh, it's not Logan. Oh, why would you stand there and listen to this old man talk? Just straight up kill his ass. It's like whatever, man. And then you fast forward a little bit, and there's another thing I hate: the black family. This is the same crap they did in X Men Origins Wolverine, man. Instead of an X Men Origins Wolverine is elderly man and this elderly woman, and in this it's a family. Why is this family in this movie? They're just there to get killed. It's like they don't do anything in this movie. They're just there to get killed. It's like, okay, yeah, they're there, and then they take him in for some reason, and Wolverine fails to mention, oh, people are looking for us, even though he does tell Patrick Stewart, yeah, we shouldn't be here. Patrick's like, no, man, I'm 70 years old, man, and it's just like, you're putting this family in danger, and this family doesn't even need to be in the movie, man. As soon as I saw this family, I was like, yep, they're dead. They're dead. It's cliche, man. They're dead. You did this in Origins, man. Now you're doing it again, with just more people this time. And then so it's like they die, and I'm like, I don't care. And that's another thing. The movie's trying to force shit on you. Like I said in my initial, the movie's trying to force it on you. Like you're going to care about these people because I just met them. I don't know them. I mean, in real life, it's different. But in this movie, it's like I don't know these people. Yeah, they may be nice, and I feel like that with the lines in the trailer where Patrick Stewart's like, yeah, you need a home, you need a family, you should take a moment and feel it. In the trailer, it touched me, man. It was so great, and this movie is just thrown out there. It's just like you should take a moment and feel. The way they executed that great line from the trailer in this movie was crap. It was so crap. It was forced, man, because it's like this black family doesn't need to be here. You know automatically as soon as you see them, they're gonna die. There's no point in them being in this movie. It would have made more sense. Like I said, this movie should have been more dynamic. It's too simple, man. It plays everything beat by numbers, where it's like, okay, to me, it should have been more dynamic, where it's like, okay, Wolverine, Logan, and Patrick Stewart are like, we need to go somewhere where we can hide out. Just like in Days of Future Past, where Logan is like, oh yeah, I knew someone a long time ago. Maybe they can help me. Then that's when you could have introduced Caliban and all that, and then he got killed because Caliban is useless in this movie. He does nothing. And then Caliban in this scene where the family dies, Caliban has a stupid, crappy death scene that kind of reminds me of Captain America Civil War. And it's just like completely stupid because it's just like, oh, they're grenades, I'm gonna kill myself, and then he blows up, and then they escape somehow, and it's just really stupid. And the black family dies, and the young Wolverine shows up and slices and dices, slices and slicing and dicing in this movie is really intense and it's fun. That's what carries the movie, and slicing and dicing. All right, then we're on the road. Now this is the most depressing part of the movie, where Logan, at this moment you can tell that he has this weight on him, where it's like the one person I cared about in this world is dead. I love that because the way he's beating that truck, beating the shit out of it out of frustration. A lot of people laugh, but to me, I was sad, man. I was just like, he's reached the end of his rope, man. He is done. You know he's gonna die at that. Well, you don't think he's gonna die, but you know he's reached the end of his rope. He argues with Laura, blah blah blah. They reach this canyon. They get there, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, this potion. You got these kids," and it's like, "Oh, they're cute." And then they clip his beard, and it's like they're cute. And then you got the military guys showing up, and then right when I saw this letter where it's like, don't take all of it at once, and there's this potion in it, he's gonna take all of it at once. He's gonna die. The movie hints at it right there. Okay. Then he takes it, and then he goes berserker, which you've been waiting for. Goes berserker, kills a bunch of guys. Then he's dying already, and then the villain shows up. Like I said, he's explaining why he did what he did. This is why I did what I did. And it's just like I said, who cares, man? And I don't think the movie cared either, because as he's talking, you see what Laura's doing, so they're not really paying attention to what this guy's saying, which makes sense. And then so it's like you move on a little bit, and then Wolverine just shoots the guy with the metal hand. He shoots his hand, and then they kill the main villain guy, which he did nothing in this movie. Like, if you're going to have a villain, man. The villain is very weak in this movie. He does nothing, man. He's just there to be like an objective, like, oh, this is why I'm after the kids. This is why you need to stop me. And on top of that, I forgot to mention the whole phone video thing is stupid. It's like the camera on her phone, but it's perfectly shot, and it has narration on there with music. And now she's filming, she's narrating. It's like, wait a minute, how can you film and narrate on your phone? Did you just like film some video and then edit it and then put some music in there and then put narration and it was like, here you go? Like, or were you talking while you were filming it because everyone is there in the room and they can hear you? And how can they not see the big ass fucking phone, man? I thought that shit was so stupid. And then, okay, yeah, he's dying. He fights young Wolverine again and he gets killed. Now I thought his whole death was really anticlimactic. It's like, okay, Laura shoots the young Wolverine in the face and he dies. And then it's like he's dying, and then they do the whole. It was kind of cool where she was like, "It's a cross," and then they turned it into an X. It was like this is the end of the actual original X-Men. This is over. They're dead. I thought that was cool, but I thought his death could have been so much better. He should have died fighting, or he should have died like fighting the young Wolverine. The young Wolverine's whooping his ass, cutting him up, and he's like on his knees, and then the young Wolverine's just getting into him like. Psh, psh. I mean, they did do that, but it should have been better, man. It should have been like he's on his feet and he's fighting with the guy, and they're fighting, and then the young Wolverine gets the best of him, and the old Wolverine's on his knees, and the young Wolverine is about to go for the death blow, and then Laura shoots him, whatever. I mean, they did do that, but they should have done it while he was fighting or something. I don't know. It just wasn't dramatic enough to me. And then he dies, and I was just like, okay, he's dead. I didn't care. This movie, like I said, it's great. You got great performances, great action, great violence, but the story, it's just typical, man. It's boring. It's nothing in this movie is original, man. How are you people not seeing that? It's so stupid, man. It's like the black family is the same family from X-Men Origins, except with just more people and they're black. And then it's like you got Caliban, who means nothing in this movie, and then he kills himself and it's stupid. And then you got Patrick Stewart, where it's a setup where it's like, yeah, he's gonna die, but they set it up as like you're gonna feel for it. We're gonna force it on you. And it's like Patrick Stewart had a lazy death in this movie. Hugh Jackman had a decent death in this movie, and then it's over. And it's just stupid. And I don't like it, but it does have good things in there. That's why I gave it a C. But if all movies are subjective, I'm glad everyone else likes Logan. I just don't like it because I see right underneath the surface. It's on the surface level. It's boring. It's plain. It's stupid. It's lazy. It's not dynamic. And people want to compare this to The Dark Knight. Don't you dare compare this to it. You do whatever you want. I'm just saying this is nothing like The Dark Knight. Dark Knight is way more dynamic than this. This here is just some lazy stuff, man. Like I said, performances are great. The violence is great. The action is great. Hugh Jackman is great. Patrick Stewart is the best actor in this movie. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.